here we are.
Absolutely. So we're starting a new series.
We are. It's called The Healing Shelf. So it's really, I don't want to say it's a book club because, I guess kind of it is. You
Sure.
can join along if you want to. But so since I'm out of school this summer and have a little bit of time,
Yeah. One of us.
don't know what to do with myself. I was like, it's a chance for me to read other people's work on healing and really dive in. So I'm kind of a control freak.
No, not you. Not at all. Fixing your microphone. Gotcha.
And so I started with Let Them.
Okay.
Seemed like, it was a good
Mel Robbins.
beginning of this
Great
healing
podcast.
shelf.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, great podcast. She has
Yeah.
some really remarkable people on her podcast.
Absolutely.
So I've kind of done a deep dive into Mel Robbins. She started long ago. She's been doing this for a really long time.
Yeah.
Like longer than people think. Like people know Mel Robbins in the last couple of years, but Mel Robbins has been putting out
Great content.
yes, great content. She does
She was a
TED
lawyer.
Talks.
She's a lawyer.
Is a lawyer.
Right, by trade or profession.
By profession. And then just had a big change in her life and things kind of went sideways. And this is kind of where she landed. So,
Yeah.
which is really great. And we'll get into some of the stories she talks about in the book. And you kind of get to know her a little bit more, I feel like, in
Right.
the Let Them story, which is really great. Gives you a kind of a front seat to, her journey.
She's very vulnerable. I mean, she's
Very
very
vulnerable.
in the
She
stories
does.
that she's sharing and what we're going to cover, I think, tonight.
Yeah, for
To
sure.
talk about. So.
Now, there are some people that oppose the Let Them theory, and there are some books before hers that were Let Them.
Yeah, I think that, in an honest, do we want to have the honest feedback
Absolutely.
now, or do you want to wait?
I think let's wait till the end. Let's kind of go through the chapters first.
Okay, cool.
And then
yeah.
let's kind of wrap up with kind of what we feel.
Right.
Because we did have some aha moments in it. I have had some
For
definite
sure,
aha
for
moments.
sure.
The first chapter, she talks about if they want to do it that way, let them. Like it's the prom story. Her kids go to prom, no planning,
Right.
and it's kind of a crazy, chaotic thing.
For those that don't know and haven't read,
yes,
I love, not to call out a bunch of different podcasts, but Smartless.
Mm-hmm.
They always tell one of the one, I think Jason Bateman, someone's aunt. They're explaining every time there's something that they don't know, they name her, and I think it's Janice. They say, "Hey, Janice, this is," and they explain what it is that they're talking about in that moment, so she knows.
Yeah.
So I don't know how we segue that, but I love Smartless. Shout out to them, but they have that moment where they explain. So explain the graduation story.
So not graduation, prom.
Prom.
Story. Her son didn't know if he was going to go to prom.
Right.
And then decided last minute he was going to go to prom. Yeah. And she, of course, had daughters before the son, and the daughters planned months
Everything,
and months
sure.
out, down to every detail. The son had no clue. So
what you're going to wear, what color.
Right. So last minute,
how you're going to get there, how you're going to go, how you're going to come back, where you're
all
going
the
to be.
Things. Yes. The dinners, the parties, all the
party,
things. Yeah. He decided a week out he was going to go, and not only was he going to go, he was going to have a date. So she went through, all right, like super mom mode, get a tux, get the shoes, get the right color, get all the things. And then even went as far as to get a corsage, a wrist corsage thing for the girl.
Right.
Like did all this research, what was cool now, what was, whatever, like trying to really help.
Above and beyond.
At the last minute. At the last minute.
Right.
So really stressed out. She talks about having a brief moment on the stairs where her husband's fixing the son's son's bow tie, and one of the daughters was home and said, "Oh man, you look handsome. You look so good."
Yeah.
And she decided, wow, I'm missing this moment. Like I'm really stressed out about all this stuff, and I'm missing the moment that's happening right in front of me. My kid's graduating from school, and here's prom.
Because you're so stressed out.
Because you're stressed. So she stopped for a moment, enjoyed the moment. Then, of course, they're like, "Oh, we gotta go," leave, go. And of course, this is all paraphrasing and my interpretation of the story of the book. So they get there. Then they're taking pictures. It starts downpour raining outside. They're taking pictures, and all of a sudden, all the parents overhear the conversation of, where are we gonna go eat?
Yeah. Sorry, our cows
Where are we going to
on
go
our
eat?
equipment.
And they're like, wait a minute, no one made a reservation.
Yeah.
No one made a reservation.
Are you joining us? What's the deal?
I think she wants to.
She's trying to record.
Oh!
If you don't see now, she's trying to record. Hey. So keep the story going.
Yeah. So anyway, so then my control is like losing it right now.
Let them.
Let the cats move the camera in the middle of a podcast. Look, she wants to go back over there and rub against it. So anyway, so then she goes into mom, full hurricane, mom, helicopter mom. Well, let me find, gets on there, tries to figure out where they can go to dinner, where's a reservation, where's somewhere they can all go eat, all the things, and can't find anything at the time. So then she's like, well, maybe we can just order a bunch of pizzas. We can all go back to my house. Like, she's trying to make all these plans.
Right.
And the kids are saying, well, let's go to this taco place.
Yeah.
Like this shack, this taco shack that has 4 tables, and they can't, like, there's 25 kids. They can't even all fit in, right?
Best kind of
best tacos ever.
Sure.
And she's like, you can't go there. Like, all of you won't even fit inside. It's raining outside. Like, everybody's going to get messed up. Like, you can't go there. Like, this is not going to work.
This is not a good idea.
And the daughter says, Mom, let them. If this is where they want to do their prom and this is how they want to do it, it's their prom.
Right.
Let them do it. So that is where it's born, is from that. And in the beginning, like the preface of the book, I've listened to the Audible and I've been reading it as well. But on the Audible, she gives total credit to the daughter for the let them, because the daughter is the one that said, Mom, let them. And let them do it.
And to be fair, we'll talk about we want to give honest, what are the things that we loved, and then what are the things that we are, just from a mental health professional standpoint, a nurse's standpoint, some things that, we talk about, and it's not a blame or shame or shade, because it's a great, great book. But at the beginning, there are a lot of people that have had this idea.
Yes.
As far back, and I love, The Obstacle is the Way.
Yes.
And Holiday has a whole line, but Stoicism,
you can go back, Marcus
all the way,
Aurelius.
Sure, meditation,
yes.
And then, but there's been other authors who have had the same, but it was just the right time, the right discussion,
I think I've read some of the inserts from some of the other books, and some of the other books don't put it in a first person frame. It's just they're giving you the idea and the words and all the things, but they're not living it out. So it's not
in that narrative. It just happened to just all perfect, the perfect combination.
Look,
the right
my
time,
sister has a let them tattoo on her foot.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's
way before the book, or
with the book.
Yeah.
When the book came out, Melanie got one that said let them. So and I had not picked up the book and read it. And we've just been really busy with school and life and kids and all the things. So, but anyway, so then first chapter, that's kind of what it's all about, is how let them kind of came about. Some of the things is she talks about, why is it so hard to let people do something when you totally disagree, like when you want to control it. And that speaks to my whole inner core, because I have a real, well, you even said, when I said I'm going to do let them, that's going to be my first book, you were like, do you even have the gear to do let them?
And it's very, we talked about, where does that, for me, it's easier at this stage of life.
It is.
And for you, it is a little more difficult. And we had an honest conversation. We laughed about it, but I was like, do you possess that gear? Is that something you can do? And there are elements of your life where you are able to do that.
Yeah.
And I am full transparency, I'm a recovering codependent. And so this was a very hard part of my healing and process of really addressing my own. And you have helped. You have been a catalyst for me of getting help, finding help, healing, doing things in my life that help to facilitate me to heal and to become more comfortable in my own skin,
Mm-hmm.
to be more confident in who I am and whose I am. All those things from a very genuine place
Yeah.
where it's not attached to this anxiety, this performative anxiety of like
Yeah.
I've got to, I've got to prove to them,
Right.
or I've got to prove, because I had it to the point of, and we talked about this,
A
yeah, a thousand,
thousand
and it
times.
was based around religion.
Yeah.
It was based around religion and how difficult it was. And I'm going to be very, um, very transparent. And I really put a lot of pressure. Looking back, one regret is I had a lot of pressure as a pastor of a very specific, um, religious expression,
Yeah.
very strict dress code. I put a lot of pressure on my family and especially like my oldest daughter of of that I I didn't know I was doing it.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it. I didn't really consider what I was doing to them or to her
Yeah.
specifically, until it became, like junior
Such a big,
high,
yeah.
high school. She was the only girl in this great school that we've been really blessed to have the kids go through, for a public education that's been fantastic for them, fantastic experience. Nothing's perfect, but it's been a good experience for them, a great education, a lot of extracurricular activities
Mm-hmm.
they can be involved in, good small community. It's been fantastic. And at one point, she was the only female, only girl in her school that was like observing any kind of strict religious dress code. And I actually we went and had an exemption made for her,
Mm.
and I didn't realize how much until there was a breakdown, and I won't go into details to like protect, and at the same time it was like life altering. It
Yeah.
was very hard, and part of that was I was putting on these expectations by trying to control the narrative of what people thought about me through my kids.
Yeah.
And I wish I would have done it differently. And I at the time didn't know how much of an impact I was having. I didn't do it intentionally, but it was a really negative and hard, over something that really didn't have a basis other than just that performative part of
Yeah.
like, you know, I don't want people to think badly of me, and I'm
Yeah.
controlling that, and I don't want them to think badly of my family. Instead of considering what was I really, what was really important,
Yeah.
what really, and so I I had a hard time, and because of like divorce and having to reevaluate my identity and where I fit, and not really fitting in to that religious culture anymore. They didn't really, during my darkest time, you know, all these people that I had preached at conferences and at camp meetings and large thousands of people,
Yeah.
and traveled the world. And when I was going through the most difficult time, no one, and I'm not angry about it. I understand in perspective,
Yeah.
but just completely alone and went through that, and it forced me to have to look at and reevaluate, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Why am I doing?
Yeah.
Who am
Why?
I doing this for?
Right.
Is this healthy? Is
Mm-hmm.
this? And so I had to work on my codependency. And you actually forced me to go to Al-Anon,
Yeah.
which is a great resource for, if you've been a family member of someone that's gone through addiction, specifically like alcoholism. But
Alcohol.
it
Yeah.
works
But it
for,
all addictions.
yes, and you realize that I'm trying to control all these things. I'm trying to control the world. And then when the world fell apart and all this that I had done for everybody else, you can get really bitter because I did all this for you, but it wasn't. I was trying to control all of it
Yeah.
instead of just let them, like
Yeah.
it's okay, let it go.
Yeah.
Don't be codependent on someone else's response.
Yeah.
All you can control, and in Al-Anon they teach you that circle,
Yeah.
and the only thing in the circle is you. All I can control is
Yeah.
my attitude and my response to what happens to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. So let them is really not a repackaging because that sounds cheap, but it's that same idea presented in a way that people can really gravitate towards.
Yeah.
And for me, I had to, because I had to address this, and I had to really, in therapy and in working, doing the own work, I was in danger. I would, when everything fell apart, I was, I don't want to use certain language, but I was at the end.
Yeah.
I was ready for it to be done. And for a long period of time, every single day that I woke up, I had to work through that, from that state of saying there's nothing to, yes, I
There's
do
a
have,
reason to get up.
yeah, there's a reason to put one foot in front of the other. But I had to work towards that every day. And because of that, I'm in a much different place now, where this comes very easy for me.
It does. And it's
now
annoying to an extent.
We have conflict over certain things.
We do, because there's some things that I'm still like, and I was raised by an immigrant father that was very strong and believed in respect and following the rules and doing it right, and a mother that had a very right and wrong brain. Yeah. And like, things have to be. So there's a lot we talked about on a previous podcast that we did about me telling Lauren she had to erase all of her homework because it wasn't right. It had to be perfect. She was in the first grade, like kindergarten, first grade. And I would erase it all and make her do it again and again and again. I mean, to the point of tears. Yeah, like, it was a lot. But that's how I was raised. Right. I was raised, if you put your name on it, it should be perfect. Right. You had to be perfect. So, and I'm not any way, shape, or form to that extent anymore. Like 100%. I pay for grades. I will pay the kid. I'm like, hey, bro, you make all A's and there's something in it for you. Now I have to argue about nothing. Like, she does it all. I don't have to ask. I don't have to beg. I don't have to check up on homework. None of it, which is so liberating if I had known that. Like, all those years, not that I had any money back then,
but it's still performative.
It is. What I pay for it, it's just easier.
It's still performative.
Oh, well, maybe she'll get to the point where she'll do it.
But there are elements in your life where you're very free. You're very unattached. And we talked about when it's something you do solo.
If I do it by myself, I'm good. If I have to do it in a group
or group observation,
it's anxiety.
And I didn't realize that until we started talking about it, because I thought there was just compartments of, and it is that
I ran track in school because it was solo. It was just me, right? It was a me sport. It was me against me.
And this book, you've started to uncover maybe some like performative shame that
for sure
is attached to some of those right and wrongs, that make you very much, when you rise up to, like, it's out of a place of protection. That's the weird thing about being codependent.
It is. I have convinced myself that I'm trying to protect someone from themselves or something bad that's going to happen, or I'm trying to mold or teach someone how to be a better version of themselves. Like, that's kind of where it comes from.
It comes from, it comes from, a codependent always believes and is motivated by what they think is a place of love, protection, or, like you said, making sure that they're going to be okay.
Yeah.
But it's as a parent, you just can't blindly just say let them to everything.
No. You can't let the 14-year-old do whatever she wants.
Right, but when a 19-year-old and they're in college and or an adult child or a relation, there's a relationship that's not like your direct spouse. There's so many layers to those things. That you have that right and wrong that rises up, and again, it's codependent in a way, because we're being very transparent.
Yeah.
For me, you said how your parent, my main parent that was responsible for my upbringing was my mother, and our family was, devastated multiple times over and over through the early childhood development, through addiction. And our family went through it together.
Yeah.
We went through it, and my father suffered with addiction, and truly suffered in being able to heal and have conversations. Now, he suffered,
Mm-hmm.
and that suffering bled over into our family.
Mm-hmm.
We were direct, having direct collateral damage because of that. And when I say addiction, I don't mean like, you know, a little small thing. I smoke a little weed on the weekend. This is, devastating, life altering, sell everything, prison time, multiple.
Yeah. Disappearing.
Yeah, just, well, disappearing, appearing. It was so chaotic, and I don't want to get into all that, into the details, because it doesn't matter. I just want people to know the severity of that was intense.
Yeah.
1 to 10, where they give you the scale, and
Yeah.
everybody says it's a 10. Well, everything can't be a 10.
Right.
But it was, a 9.
Type all the time.
It was a 9 all the time. It
Yeah.
was on the verge of completely going wrong. And because of that, my mother, who was the main kind of bedrock, she was the matriarch and the person that, because of that, because of the chaos that was going on in our world, she very much had the attitude of like the things that everyone else, because when I was growing up, we went to the Pentecostal school, we went to the Pentecostal church. All of our friends and
Wait, what did
activities
you
were
say? Y'all
around.
were like, y'all went to church
We
6 days,
okay,
almost
so
5 to 6 days
yes,
a week?
so Tuesday night we had youth service. Thursday night we had Bible study. Friday night we usually had a youth service or some kind of like rally, and then Sunday morning, Sunday night, and then possibly like a prayer meeting in there. So it was very easy for us to be there 6 different times throughout the week and weekend. Plus, if you were involved, which I started teaching Sunday school at 12, I was heavily involved in music. Like all the things that we did, I was involved in.
Yeah.
And that it was like six times a week, plus going to school there full time. So our whole world was that church. And like when I say it was, you couldn't play to organized sports, I'm not like, I'm not trying to sound sensational. I'm just, it was like against the church doctrine of
Yeah.
like playing organized sports was preached against. Outside worldly entertainment was preached against. Any music that wasn't directly like Christian, and even some Christian music,
Yeah.
was doctrinally preached against. And my mother, allowed us to play organized sports. She allowed us to go. We went to the Muni every summer and went to non-religious plays, and I saw Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor coat, and I saw Fiddler on the Roof, and goodness, these cats are going crazy tonight. All these great pieces of theater, and she took me to my first movie, The Creature of the Black Lagoon, at the library downtown, because we were devastated, but she would find free things.
Yeah.
So we got the cheap 3D glasses and went down, and I couldn't watch it. It was too scary. I was that young.
Oh.
She introduced me to the Beatles, and so we had all the, because and all those things in our world was like against the church teaching and doctrine. Yeah. But she would, because life was so chaotic, she was like, it didn't, this us getting through life was more important, yeah, to her. And so it came easier to me once I started to kind of let those, chicken, you just want to be in this podcast. We might as well interview you. But that's where, like, your father being an immigrant and like right and wrong, my mother, it was very much, there was different ways to do things. There was more than one way to do something. As long as the job got accomplished, right? Yeah. That's so. Now that I'm healing, and I'm aware, really aware, hyperly aware of my codependency. Again, it's your help, but then we've been like, oh wow, there's
more layers.
There's layers to it, right?
Way more layers. One of the things it says is control actually fear. Is it fear? Is it based on, and the background of it, is it fear?
Yeah.
Are you controlling because you fear someone leaving, someone?
Yeah.
Me having lost a child, I have huge fears behind kids being in a
Yeah.
situation that someone would lose their life. Like that is real, and that is a real fear, like in my soul. Like where are they? What are they doing?
Yeah.
Let me know where you are, what you're doing, if you're safe. Like that's important. I have my 32-year-old daughter's location. She's 32. She
Yeah.
doesn't need to give me her location. She's married and has 4 children, right? But it makes me feel good that if I have a bad feeling about something, I can look on my phone and I can see where she is and know that she is okay.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but that is, it's fear based, 100% fear based.
And it is. Do you think about it? Is it fear? Is it shame? Or is it guilt? And those are the things that you address. Is it fear of what they will do or don't do? And again, we're not talking about people that we're immediately connected to. Like, yes, I need to know where my 14-year-old is.
Yes.
That's I need. And again, this is going into some of our feedback about it, but and yes, it's okay for my wife to have my location.
Yeah.
That's okay.
It is.
If you fight against that, it's another conversation we need to have.
For sure.
Because I think some of this is coming from a place, are you in healthy environments and relationships?
Mm-hmm.
And if so, then this is easy for you to transpose.
It is.
But if you are looking at, and we talked about, okay, is there like abuse? What is abuse? You can't let abuse happen or unhealthy environments happen.
Yeah.
And so this is a simple test we came up with.
Mm-hmm.
If you had, because for ourselves, we'll often accept things in ourselves
100% for us
that shouldn't be the norm, but we allow it to become the norm.
But we will not accept it for our children.
So this is the question. What question did we come up with?
The question we came up with was, is the situation something, an optimal, that we would want our children to be a part of
and experience?
If it's not, then something bad is going on. So
that's the question you need to ask yourself. If I have a child, or if I had a child, and my child was experiencing this relationship, this situation, this environment,
the job, the whatever.
If they were experiencing this and it did not, and I was concerned for them because of that, if you knew the details, would that not be okay for them to be in? And would you encourage them to be healthy
and to leave?
Either put a barrier between themselves, a boundary.
Right.
That's right.
Something.
Because we want control. We think we can fix them, that situation, whatever it is.
Yeah.
We want control over that. We have the illusion of it. So then we're sucked in to all the really toxic stuff.
Right.
And our whole life is a roller coaster because we're not just letting them.
Right.
So we're talking about this. Let them is.
Yes.
Is it's supposed to be, these are healthy relationships and healthy situations. Right. So we've removed, if you're not there, then that's another conversation we need 100%. To have. So if 100%. You can't say, I would want my kids to be experiencing this relationship, this environment, this job, this whatever.
This
if
situation,
you can't say
experience,
it's
whatever.
Okay for them to be in it, then that's a good indicator that maybe you need to have some different
conversation, for sure.
But
so this is the one thing that says, where in life are we gripping too tightly? Like, where in life are you holding on a little too tight?
I think right now probably my professional life, because I do have fear about being a good provider as a parent, just because I saw my dad struggle with that and struggle. And again, addiction is life altering.
It is.
But the ramifications were on us directly as a family. So I set out. I was determined, like I was going to do it differently, and that has really unpacked that recently, that it'll be okay when I step away into this role. It's going to be a big difference, and it's okay.
It is.
It's okay.
It's okay.
We're going to be okay.
We're going to be okay.
We're going to live.
We're going to live.
And what's crazy is I asked, we were like, where does because I am a let live and let live.
You are.
I don't have many hills that that's not where I used to be.
Right.
But now you do. Everything got burned away.
Now you're like,
live and let live. Like it's not
important.
There's not a lot of hills that I need to die on.
Yeah.
There's just not many.
I still struggle with the respect factor.
Yeah.
Like I do. Like, I don't know if that's
if
the
you
Mexican
feel
part of me,
if you
but if
feel
I feel like,
disrespected by people or situations,
yeah, like,
then you want
but
to
that's
fight.
part of my personality too. Part of my personality for sure is fear that someone's getting over on me, and being disrespected is part of that.
Well, and that comes from a real place of like you've experienced life altering negative impacts of people taking advantage.
Yeah.
And it's okay to be honest about that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's okay to
So
be honest.
it's really
Work in
hard.
progress.
There have been some times that I've had some conversations with some of the children. I'm like, hey, look, I'm not perfect either. I did these things when I was growing up. This is what we had one today earlier. Yeah. This is where I was when I was growing up. This is what I did. Just to help them understand that there's not a judgment, but there is, like, we need to figure out another way. So I have learned, I think, to soften and have more of a conversation instead of a you're going to do it because I said so.
You have.
The end result, I still want my way.
Right.
So I'm not sure if I'm quite let them yet.
Again,
but
it's every season of life is different. As a parent, when you have small children, it is your absolute job to protect them and keep them.
Right. And the hot pot, the electric plug, the door, the road.
You're going to be much more on top and controlling every decision, every thought.
Yes.
The job of a parent when they become teenagers should be naturally, because they want to spread their wings. Their peer group becomes more important than their parents.
Yeah.
This is a natural progression of child development. And our job as parents is to prepare them to launch.
Yeah.
And that's a hard one for you.
Let them make the mistakes. Yeah. Let them screw up.
Right. And so because you know the devastation of what some of those mistakes for you,
100%.
because you didn't get some of the support that you need. And
I got pregnant at 16.
Yeah.
Right? You want to talk about judgment and all the things.
Sure. Well, parents, it was stressful. There wasn't a lot of money. There's a lot of things tied up into all that, and carried a lot of shame. Still working through those things.
For sure.
And so knowing that it's okay to name it, that, hey, this is a fear. Where does this? So then you need to start therapeutically connecting the dots.
Yeah.
You can do that with a therapist, really good journaling, but you start connecting the dots and you start walking reverse engineering. Like, okay, where did this come from?
Right.
And it gets really uncomfortable. It gets really hard, but don't stop that process, because it's going to take you back to the place of, oh yeah,
this is
that's
why.
That's why.
Yeah.
And this is where I need to do the work. Because everything else, you're just running in circles.
Yeah.
You're dealing with the ramifications.
You're dealing with the end result instead of dealing with the root.
Yeah.
Which
it's
doesn't work.
It's like going to a weed
it's going to keep happening.
And chopping the top of it off.
Right.
You know?
And letting the roots keep growing.
We have this crazy weed that's like thorny, and it's getting into our tree out there. And I kept trying to locate it. I finally had to take like a shovel, a spade, and I had to go deep down and find the bulb. And I showed, and it was like almost alien-like of finding, because chopping it off the top, that's great for a couple days, but it's right back, and it's more thick, and it's more aggressive, and it's more like, oh my God, it's like
an
jacking
alien.
this beanstalk, because you had to trace it all the way down to the root, and you had to dig way down.
Yeah.
Because even if you cut it down, that's still fine.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'll just grow back stronger and faster. And so it's the same, it's the same process.
Yeah.
Of finding, where is this basis of a fear, of a shame, of a guilt, and then work through that.
Yeah. So that's chapter 1.
Whew.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. Chapter 2 is let them and let me. It's probably the most important shift early in the book. It's because the conversation changes from what are they doing to what do I want to do with my own life now.
Right.
So it takes the focus off of everyone else and what does it do for you. So it's the difference between having the victimhood mentality of, oh, they did that and that's why this is happening to me. Her story in this chapter is a bunch of friends or people that she had young kids grew up with,
Sure.
right? People in her world, in her community that she had done life with.
This one hurts.
Went on a big trip, and she saw pictures of all these great events and all these things happening on social media, and sat and really and didn't get invited. And then told her husband, wanted to be the victim, told her husband, look at what they're doing. And her husband said, babe, when's the last time you talked to these women? Like, you've been really busy with with all that you're doing and life and whatever. And we haven't really seen them in a really long time. And then having to own that she hadn't reached out or had a connection or spent time with or nurtured the relationships. Therefore, maybe they didn't think about her to invite her to the trip, or maybe they thought she was too busy to go on the trip. And, so it becomes, sometimes we get really upset about something that really is fruit of our own tree. Like, we didn't do what we needed to do to nurture a relationship or whatever. You talked about how when you got divorced and you left the church and all those things, that there were so many people that you thought someone would still be in your corner, right? You felt like people just didn't show up for you. And we've also, on the flip side, have met people that are like, hey, this happened to me, that are still super, super bitter and upset about it, right? And to the point that they're like, you did it too. And you were like, wait, man, like, absolutely not. I didn't do that to you. I was like super busy in my life. It wasn't intentional. Like, I didn't intentionally leave you behind.
I had a really good friend that I reconnected with, and they really went through a hard season.
Yeah.
I didn't know because I was going through my own hard season. And what I've learned on the tail end of walking through healing is, man, everybody's just trying to get through and get by, and so I'm judging them so harshly, like, hey, they didn't show up for me. And then I didn't realize that, the whole time, all these years, they were like, hey, they didn't show up for me. Right. So we're both like this in this chasm and upset and hurt because we feel alone and abandoned.
But and not reaching out yourself.
Not reaching out to them, which is crazy. Right. It's in hindsight, I can laugh about it now. I'm not angry or bitter.
It's the same
at any of those Pentecostal people. I know that they're just trying to get through. They're trying to survive.
Right.
I'm not angry with them. I love them. Yeah. I love the things that I learned and the talents I developed and the God calling. Mm-hmm. I love all that. It's not gone. And I was listening. You sent me something, and it pissed me off so much. Yeah, it really pissed me off. I can't say pissed off on this podcast. You sent me something, and this has been a long time ago, but it was like, be grateful. Be grateful when you lose everything. I wish I could tell you the source of it, but it was one of those, you love those inspirational speeches, and,
I do.
And like the mixes and like Matthew McConaughey, and then there's Marcus Aurelius quotes and like, Carl Jung. Yeah. And it's just like all this crazy mashup.
I love it.
But it was like, be thankful when you lose everything. I was like, what? You don't even understand, you don't understand what it's like to lose everything. And like, be thankful when you lose everything. Essentially, they said, because then you get to rewrite the story you wanted to write. You get an opportunity to do it the way that you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
When you lose everything, it's an opportunity. Look at it as an opportunity. And for forever, I just kicked against, like Paul said, I was kicking against the spikes or the pricks, like the animal that's stubborn. They're just kicking against it and angry, like, be thankful for losing everything. Are you crazy? Like, what? I lost, everything in about 1 year of my life, turned everything upside down. I try to protect the church. I try to protect my family. I try to do the right things, and it still didn't go right, in my opinion, at that time.
Right.
And then what happened all this time later, we had a situation that transpired, and I could have jumped back into it and defended or said, I got proof, I got receipts, I got blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But it would have just locked me back into that drama. I would have been forever.
We would have gone back into the cycle.
I would have been forever associated with that situation. Yeah. Instead of seeing it then, I was able to breathe and pray and relax and see, man, this is a golden opportunity for me to break free from this time forevermore.
Yeah.
And that really became a freedom for me that was only possible by losing everything.
Yeah.
And when you do that, then you can truly say, this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Instead of complaining about or saying I lost all these people, what about the people that you have in your world that you could text now? It doesn't mean that you're going to send one text and everything's going to be a miracle.
Right.
But there's new opportunities every single day. Every single opportunity that we get a choice of how we respond. Those poor cats are
The baby is fixing to eat the spicy chili.
Okay, I'll go move it.
Go get the baby.
This has been a podcast of cats.
We have 2 baby kittens in the house that
we love them, but goodness gracious,
they are a lot, and we cannot let them because she's fixing to eat spicy chili sauce from the pho for dinner. So here's the question, babe. It says, what have we put on hold emotionally, waiting for others to become different?
What have we put on hold emotionally,
waiting for others to become different?
That's a tough one, isn't it?
Yeah. I know for sure that there are some relationships that I have with some of the children that I have emotionally put my opinion, my whatever, I've dug my heels in waiting for them to become different, for sure.
And that's a big one for me. This because it is hard because you want to control that because you're doing it from a place of love. Mm-hmm. And there are going to be seasons. It's natural for kids to pull away. It's natural for them into their developing adulthood to not. And then it's natural for them to start coming back around. Yeah. And that's been a tough one. It has. That's not easy. That's not easy for you. It's not easy for people that join us. That's a tough one. It is tough. It's a tough one when you're close to family members at a certain season of life and then things happen, not really in your control, and then it changes. It changes the way that you interact, or maybe you don't talk like you used to. So then emotionally, you're drawn back in and you feel like you're abandoned, you're alone, no one cares. Yeah. Like she did on that trip. Oh my God, they all went on the trip and no one invited me. Yeah. We've all been there. Everybody. Oh, 100%. It felt like you're the rejected kid on the outside looking in.
100%. So I can vividly close my eyes and my mind remember like some of my family going on a big trip and I wasn't invited, told about, nothing. And they all were on this big trip together and not me. And I remember sitting and being like, wow, okay, well, is this really happening? Like, did they all really go on a trip without me? Like, being really hurt behind it.
Sure.
I don't think I've ever actually said anything out loud to any of them ever about it.
I'm glad we're putting it on podcast.
I mean, why not? They don't know which ones it is. There's been plenty of them.
You said all of them.
Well, there's a lot of them that went. But it is.
It wasn't all of them.
It wasn't all of them. It was a lot of them, though. But I have gotten to a place, and mostly thanks to you, that I did live my life for a very long time in a very negative self-reflected space where I thought I was the little girl who got pregnant at 16 and I was the one who screwed up a long time ago. Sure. And then I was the black sheep and that I couldn't be anything else. And I fit into this box and a role in my family for a very, very, very long time. And I have begun to heal to the point that I don't have to fulfill that role.
And families is a difficult one because you do feel like, oh my God, they all did this. And then we've gone on amazing trips without them.
We have.
And so you don't think about
no, you don't.
Yeah, like,
you don't.
Oh my God, they're probably having the same, like they didn't say nothing to me. Yeah. Right. And it's not intentional.
It's not.
It wasn't. Most of the time it's not intentional.
It's not intentional.
It wasn't meant, but we interpret it that way. And so emotionally we're drawn in to this conversation. I remember the other day when that situation happened, I was drawn in I was really tired, and I was drawn in, and I was having a conversation with people in my head that I don't even talk to.
Yeah.
And I was arguing with them and defending it, and then I like shook myself, like, and I was started going down this path of like old thoughts, old patterns, like
all
really fast.
Right.
And then I was like, what am I doing? Yeah, what are you doing?
Right.
I'm not even going to see these people.
Right, but I think part of it is, like you said, you were super tired. You had worked all night. You come like after work and had no sleep.
Yeah.
And for you, a full night and transportation to and from is 17 hours, right? You need sleep. Like sleep is mandatory.
And then you're doing clinicals and schoolwork inside of that.
Yeah.
And
so, the whole halt is a real thing. If you're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, you don't need to make any life decisions.
Yeah. So
you don't even responding to anybody, any of the things.
So let's give our honest opinion. I think this is really great stuff.
It is.
It just has to be has to be applied in the right settings. You mentioned that, if you're experiencing that halt and you're not in a place where you can process it, this is not a time where you can say, let them, let me.
Yeah.
You're really not in a place where you can emotionally.
Well, and the let them and let me part, I really loved, because the let them can feel like avoidance.
Right.
Can feel like you're walking away from everyone and saying,
and you can take it to an extreme.
Like a let them, you know, like
it comes from a negative place.
But the let them, let me, you're taking the focus off of, and all of, because when you're focused on other people and what they're doing and how they're doing and all the things,
being codependent.
all of your energy is there, and none of your energy is here.
Right.
None of your energy is, let me focus on my healing and my growth and my path and my passion
and my relationships,
my career and my relationships.
We even talked about this year, like being way more intentional with building new relationships, and have done that, and
we have,
and have been.
Yeah, I went to a play with a new friend.
Yeah,
like, that's
and not every situation is perfect and works out exactly like you wanted to, but you have to be intentional with that, and you don't need to blame them when you let them. It's okay. You release the need to perform for them, and you release the need for there to be
perform for you,
and for there to be any bitterness about that.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think, are we going to give our review?
Yes, we are.
So you go ahead.
Okay. So one of the things, of course, is the discussion about people that are in abusive relationships, people that there are addictions, young children, marriage. There are certain intimate relationships and certain things that saying let them doesn't really fit.
Doesn't apply.
It doesn't apply.
I don't think so. Again, this is not any slam or slander, because it's an amazing book and an amazing resource. And I think there is a job of writing a book. You're responsible for creating something that will be of momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And the let them theory is catchy and empowering.
It is.
Because
and we've only done the first 3 chapters.
Right.
So we don't really know what's beyond that.
Right. But from the first 3 chapters, I would say, in order to frame it in a way to sell the book and the theory, and this idea, which has been around for a very long time, and has been reworked, and this author is very clear about that. I don't think there's enough emphasis. It's a catch-22.
Yeah.
Because if you don't create the momentum and the empowerment of that at the beginning, when you dive in, it's more of a technicality. It's more of a technical self-help. Like, this is the do's, this is the don'ts.
Well, and that's what it says. It says we've read the first 3, and we kind of discussed this and went through it, and it says, where does the theory stop? Where does it stop?
So,
where does it become harmful?
Again, this is all assuming that you're not in an abusive situation.
You're not in a bad situation.
And I don't think that's clear enough.
I don't think it is
in the beginning.
In the beginning, I don't think
it's clear enough. I think there are elements of that.
Yeah.
But this is assuming that you are not in abusive situations.
Yeah.
And we ask the question, what would you define that as? And if you would say you're uncomfortable with your child experiencing it,
Mm-hmm.
then you should be uncomfortable with you experiencing
Right.
it. And so I don't think there's enough clarity
Mm-hmm.
on that part, because let them cannot apply to every situation.
No.
And in a healthy environment, in a healthy place, then it is an empowering
Mm-hmm.
situation, because you can free yourself from codependency.
Yeah.
You can free yourself from the need of being affected, the need of trying to control situations and people, and their actions or the situation controlling you then. And
Mm-hmm.
you're just in this constant state of anxiety
Yeah.
and stress,
Well, and that's one of the things
fear and
in.
anger and guilt and shame and all
Well, and
the
that's
things.
what she says. So stress comes from trying to control things you can't, right?
Yeah.
Anxiety, hypervigilance, emotional exhaustion, people pleasing, burnout, overthinking, like all those things. There's a lot of that you really have no control over. I can't control what you say, right? And that's the circle. That's
Yeah.
the stoicism of it, is that how you respond.
You cannot control what happens to you. The
No,
only thing you control is
it's
what you
your
do
response.
about
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
it's
What you
how you
do.
react.
Yes. And that is hard.
It is
That's really
super
hard.
hard.
You know, we had a situation, and people will use like chat GPT or
Uh-huh.
something like that, AI, for like therapy, a
Mm-hmm.
therapeutic input, like, hey, I'm struggling with this or that. And so a situation arose, and I said, I didn't want to be pandered. I
Right.
didn't want to be pandered. I didn't want to be told that I was right, because I knew I was in
Yeah.
my emotions and in my feelings
Right.
and my ego. I knew
Mm-hmm.
I was angry and hurt,
Yeah.
but I knew that it was my ego. So I put into chat like, hey, I want you to respond to me on the along the lines of Marcus Aurelius's meditation and stoicism.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
The response was very
Oh
different.
my God.
Very
It
different.
was, I mean, it was hard to read at first.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Wait, what?
it was like,
There was no
that's not
petting.
yours anymore.
Yeah.
That's not you. That it's absolutely, and that's okay. And
Yeah.
the only thing you control now is what you do. And like, even went further into details, because I gave details, and went further into details about it's not mine.
Yeah.
It's not mine.
Why
And
it's
I was
not
like,
yours.
what?
Yeah.
But you don't understand. And at the end of the day, it's absolutely
It's
true.
Yeah.
It's absolutely true. And we don't want to hear it.
Yeah.
We don't want to. We don't want to let go of control, because
Mm-hmm.
it's really fearful when you at first when
Yeah.
you let go of control. But then when you take that power back,
Mm-hmm.
and you start to say, you know, hey, I went to the Bible college I went to out of high school because I wanted to be a pastoral, go into pastoral therapy.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it got interrupted multiple times,
Yeah.
and I got pulled into systems and things.
Yeah.
We've gone way too long.
We've gone way too long, but it's okay.
But I got pulled in because I was trying to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was motivated by religion, which is really powerful.
Very powerful.
And I made decisions that other people told me to make.
Yeah.
Not that I believed I needed to make, but they were like, this is what God is saying through me to tell you.
Yeah.
And because I was so much, my identity was so wrapped up in becoming this thing within that system, I multiple times put my education on pause.
Mm-hmm.
Not because I felt like it was the right thing to do, or I felt like God would want me to, but that someone told me that was what God wanted for me.
Yeah.
Because they were motivated. Yeah. And then found out later that their motivation wasn't really aligned with God at all.
Yeah.
And
it's for a selfish gain.
So taking that power back is a big deal. So I don't think there's enough clarity, but again, it's really hard when you're launching a book and launching this idea. Mm-hmm. If you come out right at the beginning, then it becomes a very technical book of like right and wrong.
For sure.
I don't know if it has the same impact. So,
well, I mean, I don't
even know if you can say it's a criticism, but it is hard.
It is hard.
You have to be honest going into it.
100%. Like I started.
Your partner shouldn't be cheating on you. You don't just let them. No. Your child shouldn't be abusive towards you. You don't just let them.
No, they shouldn't be hitting you.
Someone in your world shouldn't be taking advantage of it.
Your boss shouldn't be abusing you.
Like, you don't
verbally,
just let
whatever.
Yeah. So There's just not
there are
enough
lines.
clarity there, and it's a good conversation to have, though.
It
It's
is.
a good conversation.
It is a very good
But
conversation.
the overall is really powerful because
It
it does release people from that people pleasing, anxiety, control, and at the end of the day, as a recovering codependent, it really does.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm telling you now, like a couple years ago, I couldn't have sat here and had this conversation like this.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for you. I'm grateful that I lost everything to gain even more. Mm-hmm. So that's wild. Sure. That's wild.
It is.
So if you're going through it right now, this isn't really anything but just to say you can make it. You can make it through hard times.
Absolutely can.
And if you're in a healthy place and you're practicing this stoic principle, mm-hmm. keep it up. Keep it up. For sure. And take that power back. Let them let you. Mm-hmm. Right?
That's, I think that what I've learned.
Then you can cheer for them.
You can. What I've learned so far is the let them, let me. That part has really had the most impact on me. Not the beginning, like the first chapter, reading it, I was like, oh my gosh, like I 100% could be that mom standing at prom saying, no, we are not running out in the mud and the rain.
Not could be.
Going to eat at a taco shack. We are going to fix this. We are going to, like, I could 100% see myself being there and being that person. And I pray and hope that someday I can get to that place where I'm like, you know what, here's $40. Yeah, go get tacos. Have fun.
I think you're closer than you think you are. And I think anyone that's working on it is closer than they think they are.
Yeah.
But again, you have to do the work to trace back to where's the source?
Yeah.
Where does this come from?
Why do I feel like I need to?
Why is this so controlling?
Yeah.
Why is this emotion so strong? And from a therapeutic place, when you have a very strong emotion, there is a reason for it. Mm-hmm. So you should work on identifying what is the source of that emotion. If it's something good, that's one thing. But if it's something that's destructive and harmful and difficult for you, that it's attached to some shame, some guilt, some fear, if there's anything attached in those ways, because you're an emotional creature, you're going to have emotions. That's normal and natural.
Right.
You should be.
Right.
But if it's attached to those things constantly, you've got to work, reverse engineer, and find out where's the source of this and heal from that spot.
If it is something that is deeply rooted in abuse and neglect and childhood trauma and all of that, seek professional help to help work backwards. Like, seek someone that can help walk you through, because some of that can get very intense and very uncovering some of those things can be very, very hard. So we want to encourage, for sure.
You need to seek professional help.
For sure.
If you feel overwhelmed, please do.
Please.
There's no weakness in it. In fact, it's a sign of strength.
It is. It is. I think that people that seek help, that is beyond facing the demon.
Yeah. You can only find the gold in the depth of the cave that's dark and full of danger, and the dragon lives there. You can only find it if you go through and slay the dragon, face the darkness. Then you find the treasure. It's the story as old as time. It's real. It's a metaphorical transformation. And I'm grateful that you pushed me to go into those deep, dark caves. And there's still work to be done. And that's okay.
It is. It is.
So
this is the beginning of the healing shelf.
Yep.
This is where we're starting. We have a few more books that we're going to do over the next 3 or 4 months. More chapters. So each week we're going to kind of do this long form where we kind of talk about the chapters that we've read and where we are in the book and what we think.
Yep.
And share kind of our opinions of the chapters. In no way, shape, or form are we the experts on Mel Robbins and all things Mel Robbins.
She's
or
amazing.
The Let Me Theory. Absolutely. I've been writing this book for the last 2.5 months, The Messy Middle. And when I tell you, putting together a true book about your experience and the messy, like doing that is super hard. So when I tell you I am 100% kudos to Mel Robbins, she did it.
Yeah.
Like